We spoke about pace with the New South Wales team, but Terry, just then, did it feel as fast out there as what it looked like?
Yeah, Origin's always high-paced and high energy, and tonight was no different. That first 40 minutes went at a bit of a blink of an eye. We came in pretty happy with the scoreline, but certainly the pace of it was pretty high energy as we expected.
Billy, obviously first time with the Rains coming into Sydney with the coach's hat on. How did that feel going out there tonight?
Yeah, I was really nervous. I was really nervous. I didn't know how I was going to feel. When I was getting ready at the hotel, I felt like I was playing. But yeah, I'm just so proud. I'm proud to be a Queenslander. I'm really proud to be the coach of that group of players. Some of the performances, or all the performances out there tonight was, well, there's not much between these two teams. It's state of origin. There never is. It comes down to moments, small moments, you know, but they're big moments. So there was a lot of them out there. You know, I'm not going to single anyone out. There were so many little moments out there that contributed to Queensland's victory tonight.
What about the magic sponge on the sideline for Nano?
I've rolled my ankle before, and anyone that's rolled their ankle, it's no good. And what a tough performance to come back. He's 19 years old. Like that's a really tough performance to come back and say, I'm ready to go, put me back out there. You know, I just walked past him right then. He was sitting there eating a pizza. I don't know, I shouldn't say that, but eating a pizza, and he's got ice on his ankle, and there's some proud boys in that dressing room right now, and they deserve to be.
All right, plenty of media questions, so we'll open it up.
Billy, you talk about the small moments. Your rookies exhibited that, didn't they? Particularly Pat Carrigan, he was outstanding.
Well, we knew when he was on the field, didn't we? We knew when he came on. We didn't have to put it up on the screen. His first carry was a real momentum shift for us, and it was probably one of our best sets in the first half off the back of Paddy's carry. And then he comes out and makes a real statement with his defence. He's a real player, you know, and you know, there's some good forwards up there at the Broncos, but Paddy Carrigan's a leader amongst them. So yeah, that was a great debut from Paddy.
Is he built for Origin? Was he just meshed into this sort of into the group this week and just sort of fell to it naturally?
I think everyone has. Like, I didn't know how I was going to feel about this group. I've never coached before, but they feel like my family already. I really didn't like that. I'm not saying that just to say it. Like, I feel a real connection to these guys, and you know, they've been outstanding all week. Like, we had a 9-hour day on Monday. You know, we left the hotel at 1 in the afternoon, and we didn't get back till 11 at night. I don't even know if that's 9 hours, but it's a long time. I only went to grade 11, but it's a long time, and I didn't hear one complaint. You know, that's where this group's at, and that's got nothing to do with footy. You know, but there's a real camaraderie around the group. They're happy to be together, and I knew the week went well. I knew the preparation went well, and we just had to go out and perform.
Billy, Cam ran the footy a lot more in the second half. Was there any sort of message to him at half time to just run the footy?
We want the footy in Cam's hands, but everyone's got a role in our team. It's not just give Munster the ball. Like, that doesn't work. You know, you've got to have a structure. You've got to play footy, and we know our game, and we've got improvement in our game. But it wasn't our game that won us the game tonight. It was the way Queensland have played for decades. That's what won us the game tonight.
I can hear you, boys. It seems like it's come back. Like you said during the week, it's not about getting a result. It's if your team played well. Clearly, they played above and beyond your expectations. Am I right to assume that?
Well, we all sit here like the result is important. We all sit here, like, if we don't get the result, we're down. If we do get the result, we're happy. But it's hard not to focus on the result, but it's important not to focus on the result, if that makes sense. You know, the result will take care of itself. We just need to play well. Like our job was to get the guys in the best possible mindset and physical shape to play their best football. and then us play our best football collectively. And we've worked really hard on that, and the players have worked really hard on that. And the attitude that they've had has been exceptional. So, we're going to build. This is a fresh group. This is a new group. We had 4 debutants tonight. They're going to get better.
Julie, you talk about the winning the way that Queensland have played for decades, and origin moments. Talk about origin moments. Many come bigger than Cam's one-on-one strip on Stephen Crichton, or helping out late better field to kick it. Always good to get sacked.
That was a big moment. This bloke jumped on a ball late in the game, when there was a half chance that they were going to score a try. Val Holmes, we all seen him come from the right-hand side of the field, and he was just accelerating and dived on that loose ball. They're little moments, but they're big moments. And there's a lot of them in the game. There might be 100, 200 in the game. They're all important. You don't do one and the game gets away from you.
Daly, you played in those games last year where Queensland couldn't get a win up in Queensland when it mattered, to come down here in game 1 in Sydney, neutral venue next up, and then Suncorp. It's an important win for this series, isn't it, to do it in Sydney?
Yeah, it's always nice to get off with a win to start a series. But that's what makes Origin so special. It's the best of 3. So we're going to enjoy tonight because Origin's hard to win and it's against good opposition. But after tonight, I think we'll all go away, take that confidence back to club footy, but we'll come back knowing that the job's not done.
Billy, what about Callum Pong? I know you backed him before the series because there was talk about his form at Newcastle, but the way he stepped up tonight when he had to, that pass was magical. How impressed were you with his performance tonight?
He's a great player.
Yeah.
He's a great player. I've got a lot of belief in Kalen. And I've got a lot of time for him because he's a great person. I was never concerned about Kalen. It's part of our job to have Kalen at his best too. He's never going to let anyone down.
Billy, you had a lot of the guys that were part of the Queensland dynasty coming into camp over the last little while, and probably telling a lot of the current guys, and I imagine a lot of those debutants, what Origin football was about to your drop. Was that a pretty clear way for you to get these guys where you needed to be, to speak to the old legends and bring those guys into the fold?
Yeah, well, when the QRL asked me to be the coach of this team, my first priority was to put the right people around them, and that was the first thing that I thought I needed to do. And guys like Josh Hannay, he knows what Queensland means or what this team means to Queensland, but he's a great football mind as well. He's been super for us. I know JT and Cam get a lot of the headlines, and they've been, don't get me wrong, they've been awesome. But everyone's contributed here, and putting the right people around the group is important. And I think that's had an effect. It's had an effect on our footy. It's had an effect on the energy of the group and their attitude. But the group they're the ones that go out and play the game. Those players that went out there tonight, and the 5 other players that didn't play, they were just as important with our preparation. And guys like Jai Arrow, Tom Flegler, Tommy Dearden, Murray Taulagi, and Hamaso, that they had the best attitude throughout the week, and that rubs off on all the teams. So they're going to get their chance. Yeah, it looks like he's done his syndesmosis. So that's not a great word to hear when you're a rugby league player. But he tried to run it out, and he stayed out there for a little bit, and that just makes the victory all that more special. We had 2 guys that we weren't expecting on replacing. And guys like Tino and Harry and Paddy Carrigan, Lindsay Collins, they had to stay out there for longer periods of time. Reuben Cotter played 80 minutes. He made 51 tackles in his first Origin. We're not talking about him because we expect it. We expect that from Reuben Cotter, don't we? He is Queensland.
Because I know it didn't make a difference to the result in the end, but what were your thoughts when Isaiah Yeo went down in that game and didn't come off?
At the start?
Yeah, first tackle.
What were your thoughts?
Stumbled.
Look, they're a great team. I've got a lot of respect for them. I work with Freddie. I've got a lot of respect for Freddie, and I'm not going to start throwing what they did wrong or where their team's at and what they do. So, everyone's talking about the build-up was boring. That was pretty exciting out there tonight. That's Origin. That's what it's about.
Is that where you want the bunker to get involved with the head knocks? Is that the part there?
That's not my concern. Like, as the coach of Queensland, I try and focus on what I can control for my team, and I can't control that. So that's not my concern. We'd sit here and talk about all the things away from Queensland's performance, but it's so far from my concern that, well, I can't do anything about it. So I don't take myself there.
Were you surprised at Ches? Were you surprised he didn't come in? Why is that?
I didn't see it well enough to comment on it. Obviously, the fact that you guys are talking about it, it's not for us to discuss, but I'm sure you guys will come up with the right answers for it.
Billy, what about someone, Colo, was a bit of talk in the lead up about putting pressure on him and getting some
Wasn't
fortune
he?
out of it? Yeah. Gave him the motivation.
He did.
What he got you over the line. But he aimed up, right? I
He's a
suppose you
player,
always thought
mate.
he would, right?
He's a player. He's a young man from Cherbourg. You could imagine the community, Aboriginal community of Cherbourg right now. One of their own has just played for Queensland in a wonderful performance, set up that first try off the back of some resilience in their defensive line, and then he can do that stuff. He's a good player, and he did a lot of other good stuff out there as well.
What about the confidence, Dale, as a teammate, like for him to have that confidence in his first game, to even have a kicking game out there on the wing as well?
Yeah, I think that was just the environment that was created from the coaching staff this week, was to make sure that we play our game, our style. You don't want to go out there and play a style of footy you don't believe in, and we created something this week that we were all going to go out there and just, have a crack. Selwyn felt comfortable enough to do that, and I'm glad he did.
Billy. Coach, you are yet? You've played one game now. Do you have anything?
I didn't think I was going to be so close to Craig Bellamy in the box, but I was I was closer than I thought I was going to be. So that would disappointed me a little bit, but I've always said that I'm going to be me, and I think I've stayed true to my word, and it is what it is.
Billy, Dane Gagai misses the most tackles in the NRL. He missed the most tackles tonight, but he seems to have a really key role in your system in terms of getting up and starting that press from the side.
Yeah.
I wonder how you thought he went tonight in terms of, it seemed like he didn't matter if he made the tackle, just that he got there and changed the direction of the attack.
He played his 20th Origin tonight. It's a Dick Tosser-Turner award for us. Dick Tosser-Turner was the inaugural footy manager. He was a really important part of Origin Queensland's state of origin at the start in 1980, and Dane Gagai has never let Queensland down in any one of those 20 Origins. He was outstanding again tonight. He does whatever the team needs him to do. So he's an Origin player for Queensland for sure.
I wonder how you thought about the interchanges as well, because it seemed to be really effective the way that you brought on Carrigan and Collins at the same time that you brought on Harry Grant, and really changing the pace of the game and moving the momentum away from, the first 50 minutes was very sort of in the favour of New South Wales, and then you just shifted that. I wonder how much that was planned beforehand, or something that you thought you needed to do in the moment.
Yeah, well, we had a plan. We had a plan around, getting Josh Papali'i to get as much out as possible, and we'd support him around that. We knew Paddy Carrigan could play a whole heap of minutes, and he did a fantastic job for us. Harry Grant was always going to come on around that time as well. His leg speed in and around that middle of the field. We didn't anticipate playing him for as long as we did, but we didn't anticipate replacing Xavier Coates and Jeremiah Nenai either. So things got thrown at us that we had to think on our feet, and so the players really supported us with that. Some guys were out there that probably shouldn't have been out there, and they kept turning up, and that's why it was a great victory for Queensland tonight.
Billy, what would it mean to win your first series as coach in Game 2 over in Perth?
Again, we're talking about results here, aren't we? The best thing about this week, and even everyone in Queensland, they're looking forward to the Origin game. Hoping Queensland win. I've had a job to do this week, and that's kept my mind active and occupied. That'll happen again. It's right now. It's not about winning the Origin series. It's not even about preparing for the second game. It's about this moment. Sometimes we move on too quick in life and we don't appreciate where we're at, where our feet are at, and we really need to enjoy this moment, all Queenslanders. So it means a lot to us. Sorry to dampen your question there, I apologise for that.
All right, quickly, just 2 fan questions to finish up. Most of them have been asked so far, but Billy, I know you mentioned Dane Gagai with the Dictos Turner medal, but was he your man of the match?
Oh, wow. That's like asking someone, like, who's your favourite child? I thought Cameron Munster was outstanding tonight. Ruben Cotter, Paddy Carrigan. Like we could name a handful of them, but the game that Cameron Munster had tonight, he's in a really good place at the minute. He's great to have around. He's playing some exceptional footy, and we want the footy in his hands.
Well, Chaz, I'll probably put this one to you. How have you guys improved the defence so much from last year?
Look, different series, different structures. It's hard to compare series. It really is. I guess from the outside looking in, you can look at the result and the scoreline and see there was a big improvement, but you just have to probably say that there was a big attitude shift in what we were trying to do tonight, and a bit more belief in what we were doing. So sometimes it's just as simple as a little attitude change.
Billy, one of the questions you kind of did answer in terms of Xavier Coates, but one of the fans have asked, and I know it's probably quite pretty pubescent to ask, but who will come in for Xavier Coates?
Oh, who asked that question?
Renee Gardner.
Renee. Oh, we got to really get him out there.
No, it is
Mary from Bundaberg.
Yeah.
What's the question again?
Who will come in for Xavier Coates?
Well, we've got Murray Taulagi that's been in camp all week, and also Hamaso. So I would assume it'd be one of those guys. Those guys weren't here for an experience. They were here because they deserved to be in the camp. They'd earned that spot. And I would have felt comfortable throwing any one of those 5 guys a maroon jersey tonight and go out and play. So I would assume it'd be one of those 2.
Well, thank you both for your time so much. I'll let you go back in the sheds. And
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Renee.